During Dragon Bash, we've seen holographic dragons in the sky, Moa racing for gold, massive amounts of hope for Jade tickets, and many more amounts of Zytaffy eaten. Now with the intro of Pirates of the Sky, what in the world is going on?
Well, I'll tell you what's going on in this wonderful new... what's going on is basically the individual responsible for the hijacking or terrorist act of the Dragon Bash Festival was, she escaped, and she apparently was a captain of these sky pirates using awesome flying ships. And basically, we spent a dungeon trying to get her back, and that's what happened. And ended up getting her back. What did you guys think of so far of everything that's happened? Basically, now that Dragon Bash has come to a close, of the new jumping puzzle, the dungeon, the armors, anything and everything. What did you guys think? Did it meet your expectations?
I thought it met my expectations at least a little bit. I mean, I like that ANUT is stepping it up a level with each update. I liked it as opposed to the Flame and Frost.
Yeah, I think it was, I think it's pretty good. I like the Dragon Bash event, the new visuals, but the Halo farming, I don't like that, and the drop rate, the thing. I just think the Halo farming was just kind of bad. I didn't like it at all. Did anybody else like the Halo farming? Was that enjoyable after like the first 2 days?
It was fine until they decided to nerf the fact that they're invulnerable for like 4 seconds.
Yeah. When I was like farming them, like when they were invulnerable, they could still attack me. I could still take damage, but I couldn't hit them back for like a second or two, and it was I found that really aggravating. Like, oh, that sucks. That's stupid.
What I found bad was when they started making the pirates show up. It would have been cool if they did it, or they did it this way, but they had it to where like the 3 pirates would spawn, and then also that veteran that was invulnerable. Well, I found myself sometimes able to kill the other 3 pirates before the veteran disappeared. It would have been cool if you killed him fast enough, the veteran would stop doing whatever he was doing, and you could kill him as well. So that would be neat. That would definitely assist with the farming numbers for the kill count.
Besides the really cool visuals that they made Lion's Arch become, and how they made it look so awesome with the fireworks and stuff, what about the new dungeon that they added? What do you think about that? I mean, the whole mechanics of the laser system where you've got to dodge lasers to get to a certain achievement in the last boss battle with the AoEs. I mean, was that hard or was that easy?
I liked it. I liked it better than the South Sun dungeon. I thought it was more challenging. I found the lasers kind of difficult, but worth it in the end. When I did the dungeon the first time, I got the recipe for the everlasting transformation into a sky pirate. It was kind of neat. Expensive
Wait,
to
you
make.
got the everlasting thing that turned you into a sky pirate?
I did.
Oh, I'm so jelly.
Well, I sold it because it was really expensive to actually make, so you'd have to have a lot
it was a recipe.
Yeah, it was pretty expensive to make, so.
What did it require, do you remember?
Charged lodestones.
Oh,
like
wow.
50 of them.
Oh.
I couldn't imagine trying to make
It's
that.
150 gold.
I compared it more with the new dungeon, the temporary one. I compared it more with the Firestorm, the Molten Facility, and I found it to be like comparatively much more flushed out version of the Molten Facility. There was more to it. This actually felt like a dungeon that would have been worthy of an actual like explorable mode and stuff like that, and actually would have been worthy of being a permanent dungeon, which was pretty cool. And I just felt like there was more to it than the previous event dungeons we've had so far. It wasn't just here's the boss, or do some crap and here's the boss. So
That's the one thing that bugged me about it, is that it's temporary. I wish that it was real content. It was such a good dungeon, good mechanic, and it taught people that they need to dodge and restat their known champions. I think people get a little lazy and they expect people to carry them through it, and then this is a dungeon where everybody's trying to learn the mechanic and survive at the same time while doing damage. I think it needs to stay. I love these dungeons, like the Molten Alliance dungeon
I
and this
love the
one.
Molten Alliance dungeon.
I liked the constant moving in the laser because it certainly there's a lot of fights and a lot of dungeons where people have that they do it a lot because they're the easier ones where people just stand there and do nothing. They just attack.
Mm-hmm.
And I like that you had to move,
I think
otherwise
people
you
had
know
to
you're
work
gonna die.
together a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was really challenging too, because like when I first did it, before I even went into the dungeon, I heard from a bunch of guildies that was like, oh my gosh, this is really hard, it's really tough. It's like, and I went into it with the mindset of like, oh, okay, so I gotta get ready just to like, die a whole lot. And like the beginning part of it was fun, but then like the bosses, they were really challenging, and I enjoyed it very much. There's not a whole lot of bosses in the game are that challenging, let alone with their mechanics and all that.
Did any of you get the 15-minute one? Because I know I did after I found a group of a pretty solid group.
I actually did it with Pugs.
I actually did it today with Sincere and a couple other guildies. We did it the first time. We wiped at the end 2 or 3 times, so we couldn't get the achievement. It's one of those weird achievements though, where it's 15 minutes to beat the final boss from the time the intro starts for that. And if you wipe the first time, the counter doesn't reset, so you have to redo the whole dungeon to get that. So we redid it, and we actually did beat it and got the cutscene, and it was really satisfying. Like, we were all like, yeah, awesome. You know, you never get to do that in this game, because there's
How
not
much
much of a
time did you
challenge.
have left?
We beat it at 14 minutes and 42 seconds. If the intro doesn't count.
You had to run then to get that cannon loaded, didn't you?
Yep, right.
Full on.
Yeah, we were keeping track of it on my iPhone, and then by the time we actually got the bomb, I was like, I'm moving, put it in, and it showed us a cool little cutscene where we're shooting down the other ship. But I just loved that, because we had to work together, and it was a goal that we actually had for a couple of days, and I'm sad to see it go. Hopefully they'll hear the uproar on the forums and put more dungeons like that in.
I ended up doing it with a pug, but it was a pug of like 4 other heavy armor people. So when it came to that cannon, electric cannon blast, we were just like, oh, whatever, we're just gonna stand in this. So it was quite a bit easier to do it.
Did you think the overall mobs, the Anterblade pirates, sky pirates in there, did you think they were harder than average mobs in certain dungeons, or were they like equally as hard?
Those were balls easy mobs.
Yeah, they
Well,
weren't
I
really
thought
all
it
that
was
hard.
It was an interesting combination. They had the thugs, the tanky thugs, and then they had the stun-happy electric guys. And the thugs could go invincible right off the bat. So if you had any like strong starters, like they were done. Like you wouldn't be able to do anything with them.
Yeah.
So it made it pretty different.
It was a heavy friendly dungeon, I felt like.
Oh yes. Without a
Guardians,
doubt.
warriors, they were just more welcome in there than like elementalists and mesmers and thieves. Even though they can still do it.
I think I have to kind of like on the other side of that, because I feel like a lot of the light armor classes have a much better like condition removal, which is a real big pain in the ass in this dungeon.
Yeah, the last boss, it would throw on like 12 stacks of bleeding on you, and you would be like screwed if you don't have enough condition removals. That
Which
was
was awesome on my own. It was like a joke.
Yeah, switch to water attunement, you take everybody's conditions off. So yeah, I guess there is a place for Ellie there. There's probably a place for every class, of course. So, the new armor, like that they added, the Anterblade armor, what did you think of it? Did you like it?
Did anybody buy any?
I did.
I didn't buy any, but I know some people, like I've seen some people who pinged their armor set, and I mean, like I'm not really all into the cosmetic, because I feel like Asura and the cosmetic for Asura are very lacking. So I saw them, and I was like, oh, this seems neat, but like some of the armor, I think it was the heavy, has that giant gear on the shoulder, and I found that really funky looking, just seeing like that set of it.
I find Asurans have the same problem, and this is kind of related to another game, but I used to play this race. They have the same problem that dwarves have. I call it the dwarf effect, and that's that basically with smaller races like the Asurans, you can't appreciate the armor. Not nearly as much. You got to be more of a stat-heavy person if you're going to play something like the Asuran. But I got it for my Elementalist human. And it actually worked really cool because I made this character without knowing that this armor was coming, and I made him like an old man with like a beard, and it fit so perfectly with the goggles. Like I could imagine my character with that armor, like flying some funky steampunk-ish machine that's like, how is this working? And flying it around.
Yeah, yours probably looks a little bit like mine, but of course mine's Ashurian, so everything's miniaturized. But I think it's cute. I like it on the Ashurians. It's definitely, it fits him.
It's hard for Azerans to get a lot of really nice looking armor.
Yeah,
Azerans actually have a really nice looking armor, but it's really small.
yeah. What about, like, we've seen the Molten Axe, and we've seen the Sickle that's unlimited. What do you think about the unlimited axe that's coming up? Not the pickaxe came out, but the new axe came out. The unlimited
Wood
one.
axe.
The wood axe.
Lackluster.
Wait,
That'd be
Chop
my
it
one-word
all,
description.
mine
is it worth the 25 gold converting to gems and buying, or $10 if you want to just buy gems?
Maybe for like a main, I could see it just because it's infinite. The look, though, like the effect, lackluster is the one word I can use to describe it.
It isn't very cool.
It's a weak. It looks like a weak electricity going up and down this, like up and down the tree. It doesn't look as like, boom, there's freaking lava coming out of it, or like, yo, I just golf putted this freaking plant and it water and stuff came up. It's not nearly like that. It's just like, oh yeah, let's just put some electricity. Like, if I'm gonna have electricity, give me a freaking miniature thunderstorm.
That would be kind of cool. Well, I'm glad they finally came out with it. I mean, I want to get it for my warrior, because that's pretty much my main, but that's the only one I'm getting it for. I was just wondering if anybody else grabbed it, if they liked it.
The real question is, what are they gonna come out with next?
Nothing.
3 brand new armor sets that look very nice, or at least just from the one picture we have.
Yeah, from the 1 or 2 pictures.
Oh, you're talking
Yeah.
about the achievement armors, right?
Indeed. Yeah. The achievement
I'm hoping for an infinite salvage kit, but that's just me.
The radiant armor, the hellfire
I would
armor.
totally pay $10 for that.
I would pay a lot more than $10 for that.
I would pay a lot more than $10 for an infinite Black Lion salvage kit.
Maybe they make it
Oh,
like a
yeah.
Masters or something, or somewhere in between. That'd be cool. But yeah, you guys mentioned the achievement points in the armor. About that, you guys
Well-
excited?
It's coming out Tuesday, the 9th, right?
Oh yeah.
It's supposed to come out. Like, I don't know if they're gonna release everything with the new patch, like the new armor, the new new armor skins, and everything that they've said with the in the wiki or their website. But I really hope that they release the armor first, because I saw the fire one. I'm not sure what they called it yet.
Hellfire.
And that looks, yeah, the Hellfire. It looks amazing. That's like what Cough Armor should have been like, and it's freaking amazing.
Yeah, it looks pretty cool.
So
I'm excited about the account effects, the permanent account effects. I'm excited about that. That
Oh, yeah.
looks nice.
But the magic find, the experience from kills, extra karma gain.
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
yeah, that's gonna be
I'm
amazing.
kind of regretting not doing my dailies for like the past 100 days.
By the way, how many achievement points do you guys have? I know I'm sitting pretty high at 7,400.
Damn.
I am
I
sitting
have-
72-19.
65
Willow
14.
has me beat. I have 41.
I have 30 or
Just
3.
I have,
3,000.
just
I have
41.
4,400.
Yeah, I have exactly 41.
Oh,
achievement
4,100.
Yeah,
I thought you meant 41.
4,400.
Like, wait, that's impossible. You could do that if you've been doing dailies. You get like 100.
No, I don't do my dailies. That's the problem.
Yeah, right now I am
I'm in the
sitting
same boat.
at number 4 in the guild, at top achievement points.
Thing is, they kind of gave an indication to this way back when they did a patch that limited Agent of Entropy and the Casual Dungeoner, and they said we're limiting it for reward based or whatever for achievements, and like that was like the only indication, and I'm like, yes, woo! Like I did a little dance when I read that because I knew it was gonna happen. I'm an achievement whore, so
Yeah, see, that's the thing I'd like to think about. Like, do you think it's going to change the way the game means to other people? Like, they're going to go out and do their dailies. They're going to go out and, like, farm for their monthlies, of course.
Giant Slayer.
But I feel like everybody's just going to mob towards those achievements and not really experience, like, dungeons and stuff, and it's going to be harder. And for the people that are achievement whores, like me and Agnes and other people like Took, and people that are, like, really involved in it, they go out and get all these achievements because it's a personal goal of theirs. Do you think it's taking away from your personal satisfaction, or do you think it's adding to it, bringing more people into your realm?
Well, let's put it in the sense of farming. I could say the same thing about farming for shore events, or back in the day when we had farmable stuff. People would rather go out and farm than do other things, and it's sort of the same thing.
you're farming
It's now
achievement
farming.
points in essence.
Oh, you're saying, like,
That's so
farming
cool.
for 9 gold an hour versus going into a dungeon and earning, like, 4 or 5 an hour.
But yeah, it's
And
an
all the
achievement
karma.
point
Yeah.
versus gold farming.
The real question is how many gems and how much gold are you going to be able to get for your whatever the achievement currency is that it becomes. Because it has that as a list of rewards.
Yeah.
Like how farmable would that be?
I don't know. Like, I'm pretty decked out in my achievements. I can't really go out and get much more. I can, little places here and there, like making new characters with every race, blah blah blah, doing all that stuff. But I don't really have much more I can do where there's other people that can catch up to me, per se. Which is alright, because it seems to be a little bit of a category, and I see them adding more stuff to that.
I think for us, digital, it ends up being doing the special events. That's going to be our main bonus, and just like you said, filling in blanks. Like, I know I have a nice chunk of Slayer to do, and there's always Weapon Master. I mean, each weapon
Yeah.
is 5,000. There's plenty of room for that, and
Yeah,
the
that's
great
true.
thing is critters count, which is one of the best things. So you can farm critters and get your
Oh.
weapon kills.
Really? The white animals count for?
Mm-hmm. You can farm them right outside of probably Radisson would be the best place.
Best places in World?
Yeah, bottom right corner.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
And the
There's like
Borderlands.
30 freaking dudes.
Dang.
Yeah, I think the achievement thing is probably the most talked about thing that's coming out, but there's also talk about the home instances. What's going on there? We have a farmable node and there's a home instance that we're going to get on Tuesday or something.
Well, we've had the home instance since the beginning, and I remember way back before the game even launched, they stressed it as being much more important than what it ended up being. It's kind of a disappointment. But I think this is an interesting attempt to get us to go back, and that's
Wait, we had
a
home
farmable node.
instance in the beginning. What
We've
was,
had a
like-
home every single. It's the very whenever you create a new character, and you get out of the tutorial, you do the heart, and it says, "Oh, go here. You got to meet your friend or whatever." You
That
end up
sounds
going to
vicious.
your home instance. There's one in every single city. And they said before the game launched, they're like, oh yeah, this is gonna be the place that, like, when you do events in your personal story, that you're gonna see an effect there and all this other stuff. And it's like, as a person who's played every single race up to level 30, I'm like, whatever, nothing happened really, except for like a couple of them, and it was barely a difference.
So you're excited because they're actually bringing back something that they've announced.
To some extent, there's actually a reason to go back into your home instance. There's a purpose now, a little bit, even if it is just one node. That the only place you can, or the easiest places to get this material is to farm this one node every day in your home instance. It brings you back to that, and I would love to see, besides just monetary things, but I would love to see reasons to go back to your home instance after this, like them to add more reasons, because it's like if you've ever played any RPG, like Dragon Age or Mass Effect, it's like your ship or your camp. It's the place you go back and you talk to people, that you're invested in, your other characters in the game, but the home instance didn't. They tried to make it that, but they fell really short.
Yeah.
And that was kind of a rant. I'm sorry for going on there.
Well, I
Oh,
mean,
no
you're
worries.
right. It's with. I remember you brought up Mass Effect. In Mass Effect, you got a ship with a whole bunch of things that you had to do in between your missions, and I don't really see a point to the homeworlds and Guild Wars living up to that kind of.
I'm not hoping
idea.
it's going towards like a guild hall sort of effect. I think
It could
I
be
possibly
it
heard
could be
somewhere.
into a precursor for like a guild hall. But they might just be working towards it, giving us the home instance first. Like, hey, here's your home instance. Maybe down the road they'll do guild halls, but
Oh, it's already been stated that they are doing guild halls, but it will be later,
Eventually, quote unquote.
eventually, soon. Trademark.